been having this vision. I've been having this vision. Either rise or you fall. I'm on a mission, bringing my dreams to fruition. I ain't playing at all. Bring out the body bags. I'm about to kill them, deliver them to the mortician. I gotta do what I gotta do. That's for my fish, back in my face. I gotta do what I gotta do. I pray to God, he never came. I'ma do me, I'ma do me. That's in my blood, I'll never change. That's in my blood, I'll never change. That's in my blood, I'll never change.
Welcome to the WSL Post Show for the Outerknown Tahiti Pro. Beautiful scenes from the flotilla in the channel and an epic day of surf competition for the final stop of the regular season on the championship tour, and elation for Miguel Pupo getting congratulated by Felipe Toledo. Oh my goodness, what a day. I'm Kaipo along with Laura Enever and Peter Mel. And Laura, what a day.
Wow. It's going to take us a while to decompress from all of this, but yeah, an absolutely incredible day. You know, yesterday was huge, and then today, getting our two winners, crowning our winners. Oh, wow.
Peter, some excellent scores today, some incredible surfing.
Yeah, what a good final. And both finals actually turned on. We've got a great battle between the women, and also, Callie Vaast gave it a good run, but Miguel Pupo a little bit too strong. We had that little moment, that break in the middle of the day, which actually was a good call. We actually got into the best part of the day right at the end there.
Hey, let's catch this moment right now, because Miguel Pupo, he's been waiting this for a long time, and he gets to celebrate a championship tour victory here in Tahiti. He's with Dimini.
Thanks so much, Kaipo. Before I hand it over to Elo, he's got some beautiful trophies to hand over. We got to say thank you to all of our partners. Title partner, Outerknown, Tahiti Government, Tahiti Institute of Youth and Sports, Tahiti Tourism, Oakley, Hydro Flask, Red Bull, Expedia, Pura Vida, True Surf, Shiseido, Polynesia One, Vinny, and Air Tahiti Nui. So Elo, I think you got some beautiful trophies to hand over, so I'll pass you the mic.
Thank you. First of all, congratulations to the both of you and to all of the men that competed today in unbelievable conditions. And to this young superstar in the making, the world has been put on notice about you, and congratulations on surfing this amazing break at your home break. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm feeling like incredible right now. I mean, I lost the final, but it is what it is. That's competition. And super happy for the winner, Miguel. And just, yeah, like so much emotion right now with everybody that make me cry. I don't cry usually, so it's feel weird, but like good at the same time. Just to have the whole Tahiti, like the whole channel, and yeah, super stoked.
Well, something tells us this is not the last time we're going to see you on this boat winning this thing in the future. So congratulations on what an amazing performance here in Tahiti. So congratulations to you. Yes. And to Miguel Pupo, your first championship tour win. My friend, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Just happy, finally the hard work paid off, and I wanted to get a win on the CT, and I came close at Pipe this year if it wasn't for that guy, so I'm pretty happy to finally get the win, and just to be here at Chopu, it just feels unbelievable for sure.
Well, here is something that is so beautiful for you, and also something that tells us it's not going to be the last time that we're going to see you win a championship tour event, and a very, very special presentation from the 11-time world champion, Kelly Slater.
I'm giving you a watch. That's all. I just showed up to hand you a watch, but this is our design, whatever. I'm not going to do the whole press thing, but Breitling's offering you a watch, one we worked on, but congratulations. Awesome job, Kelly. Thanks for kicking my butt, buddy. You're the man.
It's a beautiful watch from Breitling. Congratulations to you, Miguel. Thanks, Kelly. Congratulations to you. We'll send it back to you, Joe.
Hey, great stuff over there, and it's been a long time waiting for Miguel Pupo, and what a great year. Eric Logan emceeing the awards ceremony out there on our presentation boat. Such a good job out there, and I can't stop smiling right now because I'm really, really happy for Miguel Pupo. Gosh, he's deserved it, Laura. I mean, it's a decade on tour. He's got to win now.
11 years on tour. He came on in 2011. I came on that year as well, and it just seems, I was saying to Joe, like an eternity ago, that you know, and to see him just fight and, you know, continue to just evolve, come back, fall off tour, the adversity. You know, he spent so much time away from his family this year. He was just saying in his interview, only his wife and family and everyone close to him knows just how hard he worked and how much he sacrificed. I think he spent about 80 days away from his family, left his daughter that was 10 days old to go on the road and compete. So it's just amazing to see him get that win.
Yeah, our last day of the regular season concluded right now. Let's take a look at our men's bracket for the Outerknown Tahiti Pro and Miguel Pupo's road to a victory here. First, Peter, he had to overcome Kanoa Igarashi in quarterfinal number 4.
Yeah, well, Kanoa was on a bit of a heater, getting himself into that final 5 yesterday, but Miguel was too strong. His forehand technique, one of the best. I mean, the only other surfer in this draw on the finals day was Vaast on the forehand that put in the performances, and they were just on the opposite end, ended up meeting in the final. And when that final was done, Miguel Pupo was the winner.
Well, this is how he got there and the road to the final for Miguel Pupo. An expert on the forehand tube riding, threading through barrels, pumping through sections, and comes through defeating Kanoa Igarashi quarterfinals, and then had to do away with Caio Ibelli in the semifinal, Pete.
Yeah, fellow Brazilian, you know, and Caio was on a bit of a roll himself. They were both putting up gigantic numbers and just competing so smart, making great wave choice, not making any mistakes, didn't make any priority mistakes, and that paid off. You know, in that final, when we got to that final, there was one exchange that happened where Cowley went the first one. He saw that this one had a good line on it. He took it. It was a great number, one of the best numbers in the heat, but the next wave was better, and that's that destiny that happens to those winners. And Miguel Pupo, again, no mistakes.
Excellent surfing equals excellent numbers. As we look at the numbers from the final 4, Miguel Pupo, a 9-point ride, an 8.17, way up in the excellent range with a 2-wave total of 17.17. A well-deserved victory for Miguel Pupo. Dominant finals for Miguel Pupo.
Wow, they absolutely put on a show. So cool to see, and Cowley, we're going to see him for a long time to come.
Well, it's been 16 years since we've seen the women here in Tahiti at Teahupo'o. And Courtney Conlogue, the sea tiger, had the claws out. She was clawing over the edge, and she had a run through this final. But it wasn't an easy run. Had to overcome Steph Gilmore. And then in the semifinals, she had to overcome probably the favorite coming into Tahiti in the way of Tatiana Weston Webb. And then finally, in that final, Brisa Hennessy. Here we go. This is Courtney's road to the final, Laura. Great backhand tube riding.
Wow, absolutely incredible technique. I was just so impressed. Courtney has shown up here to Tahiti, and she's just looked in such fine form. Yeah, that pig dog technique there, rolling that front foot over and just being able to put her body into the wave to slow down. She was so impressive time and time again. But yeah, she had to, you know, overcome Tatiana Weston Webb.
And finally into Peter, Brisa Hennessy, runner-up, but it was all Courtney Conlogue in the final.
It kind of was. There was one moment that Brisa had that I think that unfortunately she wasn't able to do the technique of getting the slowdown very on the takeoff. That's the difference that feels for me what Courtney was able to do all event long, was get that ability to slow herself down off the takeoff, especially backhand. She put herself in position where she was going to be able to slow herself down, get those waves, and she was able to have the speed control. That's why she took this win here, and we expect more from her. I know that the other ladies will be catching up, though. They'll be studying that technique.
Yeah, but Brisa Hennessy, runner-up finish over here. But, you know, just as important for Brisa, we're going to see her, Laura, in the final 5. We're going to see her in the Rip Curl WSL Finals at Lower Trestles, and she had a must-win heat today in heat number 4, quarterfinal number 4.
Yes, Lakey Peterson and Brisa Hennessy, they had to fight it out in the heat together for that final spot in the WSL Finals. And, you know, in a pressure cooker situation, Brisa came out on top. Both of these girls were going blow for blow. They just couldn't, you know, get anything on the board at the start of the heat. And then Brisa
This was
turned
it right here.
around.
That's 7.17 for Brisa Hennessy, steering that Glen Pang Town and Country board through a barrel peak. You were impressed with the technique. that Brisa employed here.
Yeah, it was all feel. It really was. I mean, at that point, when she got to the bottom, she was kind of in a different position than she'd ever been, but that back knee tucked in, and that's what got her underneath it, and that's what got her that barrel and the win. This was the last effort from Lakey Peterson. If she had been able to slow herself down from the very beginning, this barrel would have been a little bit longer. It was one of the bigger waves of this final, or of this quarterfinal, and it could have been the difference, but unfortunately, she just didn't get deep enough.
Yeah, and just tears of joy for Brisa Hennessy when she was able to qualify for that Rip Curl WSL Finals. There's the quarterfinal numbers, Pete.
Yeah, and it's that was a big win, a gigantic win for Hennessy. She had been right there knocking at that door in the Final Five for most of the season, but had to save it at the very end, and the best for last, and that did it. She's now able to compete for a world title at Trestles, and that's the dream. That's what she's been trying to achieve all year long, make that mid-year cut. I mean, she was pretty safe on the mid-year cut, but ultimately, at the end of the year, when you start off the season the way she did, to be able to get there in the Final Five, the goal was met, and now she's got a whole new goal.
Well, speaking of the Rip Curl WSL Finals and the Final Five, we're going to break all of that down for you here on the post show. What's it going to take to win at Trestles? Who are the players? All of that coming up right after this break. Welcome back to the WSL Post Show from the end of the road here in Tahiti, the Outerknown Tahiti Pro. Today was the final day of the regular season for the World Surf League Championship Tour. But what that has set up is the anticipation for the Rip Curl WSL Final. And we got a loaded Final Five for the women. Let's take a look at the women's Final Five.
Carissa Moore, the 5-time world champion, the Olympic gold medalist.
Carissa Moore, nothing to lose.
Very strong turns on that outside bowl.
Grabs the rail, tucks into the tube, finding a way through this one. And she gets the exit.
Big opening snap. And another.
Wow.
Hangs off. A buzzer.
Carissa Moore has clinched her spot in the WSL Final Five.
That's front surfing coming out of Joanne. Taking it out with very solid pocket surfing.
Powerful backside hack. She has clinched her spot in the WSL Final Five, and she will get a shot at a world title come September.
We know her as La Reina. We know her as the queen.
Wild to think of Steph having not even made a final yet, let alone a win. Is she even going to get a win this year, or is Steph kind of just gone for this year?
Here comes Steph Gilmore.
Great start from Gilmore.
I love it. I love doing this.
I think that's classic Steph right there.
Miss Stephanie Gilmore.
Will she make it 8? She clinched a spot this September in the Rip Curl WSL Finals.
I think a lot of people know me as a person that really likes to push my limits.
Incredible.
Last year was a lot of pressure for me.
Finish, she can't hang on.
Think about how long you have to wait to get redemption.
She times it perfectly straight up into the pocket.
Pro Portugal champion.
Let's hear it for your champion, Tatiana Weston.
Tatiana tucking in. Wow, find some cover.
Tatiana Weston Webb.
Massive hammer.
Wow.
Tatiana Weston Webb, you've clinched your spot in the WSL Final Five.
Let's watch Brisa Hennessy.
A great looking set to get her campaign underway.
Powerful forehand wrap.
Brisa Hennessy is the winner of the Hurley Pro and #1 in the world.
Never would have thought that I would be wearing yellow.
It's definitely a pinch myself moment still, for sure.
Comes down to the final seconds. Brisa Hennessy drops in, pulls in the barrel, travels through spin, and she comes out. It is Brisa Hennessy. She's clinched her spot in the Final Five. Incredible. And then it's down to 5. Looking at the brackets for the Rip Curl WSL Finals. Match #1, Peter, Brisa Hennessy versus Steph Gilmore.
Yeah, the newest addition to the Final Five and her first time ever in the Rip Curl WSL Finals. Brisa Hennessy, good to see, but everyone else been there before.
Yeah, after that, whoever wins that match #1 is going to have to come up against Tatiana Weston Webb, Laura.
Yeah, totally. I mean, Tati's she's done it before. I mean, it's gonna be tough. And looking there, Steph Gilmore, she was in this same heat last year in the same position, #5. She's actually dropped down. Brisa dropped up, but that doesn't matter. They'll be against each other. So she'll be wanting to get through that.
Whoever wins match number 2 is going to go up against Joanne DeFay, Pete.
Yeah, the little switch in the seating there as well. But yeah, these are, I mean, you think about it, it's pretty consistent to see 4 surfers that have been in the WSL Final 5 before back in there.
But ultimately, you're going to have to get past 5-time world champ Carissa Moore, who's the #1 seed. And when we talk about the championship match, that's the best 2 out of 3.
Yeah, and she's right back there at the #1 seed. So ultimately, she could win another world title. And we thought we were going to see her get into this same realm of starting to get into Steph Gilmore range. But right now, that #1 seed is going to mean a lot at Trestles. She could do it very easily.
Well, in 2021, both of our #1 seeds won. Will it be the same story in 2022? That's what's going to make that Rip Curl WSL Finals so exciting. It's going to be the biggest day in pro surfing in 2022. For the men, Laura, we got our final 5 also all locked up after this final event of the season. Let's take a look at our final 5 for the men.
Big section here, and he absolutely slams it.
Unbelievable surfing.
Toledo just so on this morning.
Champion at the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach.
Those are the combos that make Felipe Toledo so dangerous.
One big move, and oh my goodness, that was crazy.
She clinched this spot in the WSL Final 5. Robinson goes from 3rd to 2nd at the buzzer. We will see the Australian move on to the semifinals.
Come on!
Put it on the line.
Bang.
That was crazy.
Jack Robinson has won the Margaret River Pro.
Speed jam off the top for Robinson. One of the best tube riders in the world. Robinson at the buzzer has gone back-to-back.
Jack Robinson has officially clinched his spot in the WSL Final 5.
Here comes a world champ, Italo.
And there's that just impeccable timing.
What can't this guy do? The secret weapon, full rotation.
That was pretty amazing. Always exciting when this guy takes to the air.
That is when Italo starts to thrive.
Good grief, that poor wave.
You're going back to Trestles. He's officially clinched his spot in the WSL Final 5.
Ethan Ewing too strong. He's on his way to the semi-finals.
Ethan Ewing showing some flow as he moves down the point at Outerknown.
Slamming on the brakes, pulling into the cylinder. Ethan Ewing gets the exit.
His first championship tour win. Ethan Ewing.
Congratulations, officially clinching your spot in the WSL Final 5.
Kanoa Igarashi up and riding. Closeout section, tags the lip, coming down.
Huge gap, throwing tons of spray.
Will lock in on this left-hand tube that's opening wide. Kanoa Igarashi, he's in a must-win situation. Kanoa grabs the rail, lunges into the first section. It's staying wide open.
Wow.
Igarashi stands tall for the exit. Congratulations to Kanoa Igarashi, clinching a spot in the WSL Final 5.
Final 5 are set for the Rip Curl WSL Finals. Match number 1, Pete. Italo Ferreira over Kanoa Igarashi, your favorite.
Well, I'm going to say that there's 2 additions here that have been in the WSL Final 5 before, but the 3 new additions are youngsters, and I love it. I love to have the new blood in this one. I'm not going to make a pick. I'm just going to let it unfold there, Kaipo.
Well, whoever wins that, Laura's going to go against Ethan Ewing. He's going to be dangerous at lowers.
He will be so dangerous. One of the most beautiful styles that we have on tour. We can well and truly expect to see those calves coming absolutely alive. But look at who's number 2.
Number 2, that's going to be match number 3. Jack Robinson is going to take on the challenger, the winner from match number 2. But ultimately, the guy with the yellow leader's jersey is going to be sitting on the top of the pole. Felipe Toledo with that title match. Everyone's going to have to battle up to him to get that best-of-3 championship match.
With the experience that Felipe has, the #1 seed, and the way he surfs Trestles, that's the man to beat.
Yeah, I agree. I concur. That is going to be the man to beat on paper as well as in the seating. So, yeah, but it's going to all happen at Lower Trestles. It's going to be the 2nd year that we're going to go to one of California's premier breaks. And as we look here at zooming down to the west coast of the USA, California down to Southern California, where we will find Trestles. A lot of people migrate there for daily surfs in San Onofre area. 3 major breaks here at lowers, middles, lowers, and uppers. A lot of these waves are shaped from the water coming out of the river, the San Mateo River flowing there. Now that affects the sands and the cobblestones, creating an A-frame over at lower Trestles. That A-frame that would beam down on rights and lefts. That is exactly where we're going to have the Rip Curl WSL Finals.
Yeah, lefts and rights, high performance, skate park, all of those things that you talk about. There it is, the northeast winds. That's what we want in September, Kaipo. It's the perfect time of year for those Santa Anas.
And it likes south swells, southwest swells, just the time of the year for those swells to start hitting the cobblestones, and we're all set. And I think when we look at Trestles, Laura, we look at probably one of the best high-performance waves in the entire world.
For sure. I mean, it's the closest you can get to a wave pool without being in a pool, really. So, I mean, it's going to be absolutely amazing. I think, you know, Felipe is going to be very, very deadly. You know, Carissa, the #1 seeds, it's going to be really hard to beat them in fine form there. They've competed there. Carissa's competed there her whole life. And, you know, Felipe, he lives there now, so... But it's going to be tough. I cannot wait to see it all unfold.
Pete, we've seen scores on both the lefts and the right there at lowers.
Yeah, ultimately, the rights are probably the go. Just a little longer, a little more wall sometimes. But we've seen big numbers come from the lefts. Felipe, as a matter of fact, has gone way above the lip. And when you're thinking about high-performance surfing, and we're thinking about judging as some of the elements in the criteria there, the innovation and progression element is going to be a huge element at Trestles. But you've got that power and flow from a guy like Ethan Ewing. I like Ethan Ewing and his chances there, but ultimately I still think that Felipe has all those weapons.
It's all going to happen September 8th through the 16th. That's the waiting period for the one-day event. Remember to tune into worldsurfleague.com for constant updates, but the waiting period starts September 8th, and it's going to be the biggest day in pro surfing. Well, today was a big day here in Tahiti, and now comes my favorite part of the post show, today's top 5 moments. Peter, starting with wild cards putting on the show like Nathan Hedge.
Yeah, Nathan Hedge. I mean, he had a big number in this one final. Didn't get the second backup, and unfortunately going down. But what a performance over the years. 43 years old. He put it together from day one all the way to the end, and it's been fun to watch.
On the women's side, Laura, Vahine Fierro, dangerous wild card.
Oh, so dangerous. We saw clips and videos of her and seen what she's been able to do here at home over the years. And, you know, she had the crowd behind her. She just went out in a wave-starved heat today. But this was the man who made it all the way to the final.
Kaoli Vaast, a dangerous wild card in the way, Peter, all the way from the trials to a runner-up finish here.
Yeah, number 5. That was all the wild cards. That was the element. They are big element here at Tahiti, and they will always be because this wave is so special.
Number 4, there's a perfect 10 for Maddie McGillivray, Pete.
Maddie McGillivray surprised us all. We should always understand that he's going to surprise us. He's going to showcase that he can do it all, and I love that about Matthew McGillivray. I hope he can stay on tour for years to come.
This was absolutely unbelievable. We saw him do the Hail Mary and make an unbelievable turn at Margaret River this year, but this had to have taken the cake. He was baffled, couldn't believe it. How did he make that takeoff?
And a perfect 10, 10s all the way across. Number 3, final 5 clinch moments. Tatiana Weston-Webb, she survived the women's elimination round to clinch her way into the final 5.
Well, and there was a lot of moments that we had to think about for clinching final 5. And all of them were sketchy, big time.
Steph Gilmore, she did it in the women's opening round, clinching her spot. Brisa Hennessy, women's quarterfinals. This was a clutch one for Brisa.
She literally clinched her spot with that exact wave. Unbelievable to have made that. And Ethan Ewing.
Ethan Ewing clinched his spot here in Tahiti.
Well, they all get spit out into the channel right into the WSL Final 5. I mean, what better way to do it? It's been really cool.
As well as Italo Ferreira going through a cavern here, coming out and gets his ticket into the Rip Curl WSL Finals with a clinch.
Yeah, and I think you'd have to add, right? We're going to see at one point one more. Is there one more?
This is the one, the buzzer beater. Final 2 minutes, a 9.7 for Kanoa Igarashi and clinching his spot, Pete.
Yeah, and this is it, right? He got spit out into the channel. This was the wave that really did it for him. He had to do it. He was behind everything on his back, and he pulled it off, and that's how excited he was. And we'll see what he can do there at Trestles. I think he's got a good chance.
Well, number 2 for us, our winner, our champ of the 2022 Tahiti Pro, Courtney Conlogue, Laura.
First time back in 16 years for the women, and Courtney Conlogue puts her name on top of the list of hard-charging women that we've seen in the past. So it's absolutely incredible to see Courtney. We had her picked as one of the favourites. We've seen what she can do in heavy water before, and her technique, her barrel riding, everything that she did this week was just absolutely amazing.
Number 1, a victory in the Outerknown Tahiti Pro for Miguel Pupo. Peter, what a sweet taste of victory.
Yeah, 10 years in the making. And, you know, a decade of all the trials and tribulations all comes to this crescendo here. And what a place to win in Tahiti at Teahupo'o. What a win. I love it.
And he did it in a style that he just thread through so many barrels out there. Sammy liked the show in support, little brother, and it was a party in the channel for Brazil, Laura.
How amazing. He started his year off with a 3rd place at Pipe, and then to come to Tahiti and bookend his year with a win, his first win on tour. It's just incredible.
Yeah, finishing top 10. You know, I think that if you're going to set a goal for a whole season, yeah, obviously it's the WSL Final 5, but if not, top 10's pretty good too. It's sweet.
I think with his win here, he's actually going to finish off the year number 6.
Yeah.
So he's right out there. But hey, congratulations, Courtney. Congratulations, Miguel. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Peter, as always. We got the end of the day, the end of the event highlights for you to enjoy. But also, remember, tune in, worldsurfleague.com. Up next, the Rip Curl WSL Finals, September 8th through the 16th.
Tahiti's always going to love their surfers and love what they're doing. So win or lose, we're already winning.
No one thinks I can do it. I'm going to prove them wrong.
Brisa, she's dragging it. Oh, she's gonna get pitted, and she's coming out. Nice.
I know all the girls have it within them.
Yeah, I was just going out there. I was looking for those sick pits, and then I was driving off the bomb and whoop-ah!
There we go. Go, Jordy. He should have got greedy there. He wasn't even near the foam ball. Oh, they won it. The boys are tweaking.
What Chopu is supposed to look like. The shape's perfect.
Come on, you're goofy, man. You're goofy. On the brakes, on the brakes, on the brakes, on the brakes. Go, 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 go. Oh, oh, oh.
Here goes Hoggy. Yeah, Hoggy! Oh, what? Come on. just like.
I don't even know what to do right now. Just like tripping out.
You're gonna finish us today for sure, huh?
The last day's on.
Final day.
Oh my God. Unreal.
Augie, look at this thing. Not super square. Well, no, there it goes pretty square.
Everybody's all stoked. Oh, look at this vibe.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.
Really embracing this moment that we're all here together. I mean, all these surfers that get to share this incredible lineup and get to really feel the magic of chopes.